My child, stop. Do not scroll. Do not look away. This moment is heavier than you realize. Michael speaks in anger because heaven saw your mistake, and yet mercy still stands at the edge of this breath. If you feel a tightening in your chest right now, if your hands feel warm or restless, if a quiet fear mixed with hope just stirred inside you, this message did not find you by chance. You were summoned. Beloved, you were warned not to skip, because what you are standing near can either protect you or wound you deeply. Heaven watched the choice you made, not the one everyone saw, the silent one. The compromise you justified, the door you knew you should not keep open. Michael saw it, and his voice shook the veil. This is not anger without love. This is anger that guards what is holy. Chosen one, hear me. There is still a narrow space to turn back, still a breath where grace whispers, walk away now. Do not confuse silence with permission. Heaven was quiet because it was watching. If you feel chills rising along your arms, if your breath just slowed without effort, that is alignment pulling at you, gently but firmly. You are not condemned, but you are being stopped. Every second you stay here, heaven moves closer. Every second you listen, the weight begins to lift. Michael does not raise his voice without reason. He stands where lines are crossed, and he blocks what cannot follow you into destiny. My child, what you are touching cannot be carried forward. What you are tolerating cannot be blessed. If your heart is pounding right now, do not fear. That is not judgment, it is protection activating. Whisper it if you can, I receive correction, or type amen as a sign that you are still teachable. Heaven responds to humility faster than strength. Do not turn away now. This next moment matters more than you realize, because Michael is not finished speaking, and what he is about to reveal will decide what leaves your life tonight. Stay, beloved. Feel that stillness settling around you, that quiet pressure behind your eyes, that gentle weight in your chest that feels both heavy and safe. That is not fear. That is heaven stepping. Michael does not shout to destroy. He raises his voice to interrupt what would destroy you. Chosen one, the mistake was not small because it was hidden. It was dangerous because it was repeated. Each time you said just once more, heaven marked the echo. Not to shame you, but to stop the bleeding before it reached your future. My child, you sensed it. The unease that followed you after, the peace that refused to stay. The way sleep felt thin, like something unfinished hovered near your thoughts. That was the warning phase. This is the intervention. If you feel a sudden warmth spreading through your shoulders, if your jaw just relaxed without you telling it to, Michael is standing between you and the consequence you cannot see yet. Hear this carefully, beloved. Not everything that feels familiar is safe. Not everything you can handle is permitted. Heaven is not angry that you stumbled. Heaven is angry at what tried to claim you through that stumble. Do not argue with this moment. Do not defend what you already know you must release. Every second you stay, the hold weakens. Every breath you take right now loosens the grip. If your heart is racing, place your hand over it. That vibration you feel, that is authority returning to you. Type, I am ready if your spirit agrees. Or whisper, it is done as an act of surrender. These are not words, they are doors. Michael's sword is not lifted against you, it is lifted for you. But listen, there is a line he will not cross with you. Walk away now, and heaven seals the breach. Delay, and the protection thins. Do not mistake patience for permission. This grace window is narrow because what's ahead is sacred. Stay aligned. Do not blink away from this moment, because in the next breath, Michael will reveal what was never meant to survive your obedience. Chosen one. Feel that pause, that hush that just settled, as if the air itself leaned in. This is the moment where heaven waits for your agreement. Michael's anger is not chaos, it is precision. It cuts only what threatens covenant. My child, what was never meant to survive your obedience is already trembling. You felt it today, that sudden irritation, that resistance rising when you thought about letting go, that strange pull to stay connected to something that no longer feeds your spirit. That is not desire, that is attachment losing power. If your palms feel warm right now, if a soft heat is spreading through your chest, that is truth settling where fear used to sit. Beloved, heaven saw how close this came to becoming a pattern, how easily one step could have turned into a path, how quietly it tried to normalize itself in your life. Michael stepped in before the mark could deepen. Hear this, without flinching, what you are being asked to release will not be taken by force. Heaven honors your will, but protection follows obedience, not hesitation. Do not turn away now. This is the narrow crossing. If your breath just slowed, if your shoulders dropped as if something invisible slid off you, that is the weight lifting because you are choosing alignment. Say it softly if you need to. I walk away. Or type I receive as a signal to heaven that you are done negotiating. Angels respond to decisions, not intentions. Michael is watching for the turn, the inward shift where you stop justifying and start trusting. This is not about punishment. This is about preserving what God planted in you. Chosen one, stay with me. Scroll, do not disconnect. Because the next thing Michael speaks will expose why this had to be confronted now, and what heaven is protecting that you have not yet seen. Beloved, do you feel that quiet awareness rising, as if something unseen just stepped back to give you room to breathe? That is not emptiness. That is space being cleared. Michael did not confront this now by accident. Timing was everything. Chosen one, what heaven is protecting, has been forming silently behind the veil. A calling too fragile to survive contamination. A season too holy to be mixed with compromise. That is why the interruption came before the breakthrough. If you feel a gentle pressure at the crown of your head, if your spine feels strangely straight, almost anchored, that is alignment locking in. Hear me. What you almost carried forward would have followed you into the next door. It would have spoken when you needed clarity. It would have pulled when you needed strength. Michael stopped it because heaven intends you to walk forward unburdened. This is not loss, this is rescue. Beloved, the anger you sensed was not toward you, it was toward the threat that underestimated your assignment. Do not mourn what must be released. What leaves now cannot accuse you later. If your eyes feel heavy, if peace is washing over you in waves instead of all at once, that is heaven sealing the space where confusion once lived. You did not miss your chance. You were pulled back into it. Stay alert. Do not disengage yet. There is one final instruction forming, not loud, not harsh, but firm as stone. Michael is about to speak it. And when he does, you will know exactly what step to take next and why heaven trusts you with it. Stay, chosen one, now hear me with every fiber of your being. The moment you've been standing in this tense, trembling, sacred space reaches its pivot. Michael's voice is no longer anger alone. It carries authority, it carries protection, it carries the weight of heaven itself. Beloved, what you almost clung to, what you almost carried forward, has been fully removed from your path. Do you feel the release? That gentle surge in your chest, that vibration in your hands, that sudden stillness around your shoulders. That is liberation touching you, confirming the choice you made in obedience. Your mistake was seen, your hesitation was measured. And now, because you turned in time, mercy stands ready. But do not mistake this calm for the absence of power. This peace is active, it is not passive. It is the divine shield over your life, your purpose, your destiny. Type it if you feel it, I receive. Whisper it if you must, it is done. Every affirmation you make now aligns you further with what heaven has already begun. Beloved, what you released is gone. What you held is being restored in spirit, and what you feared cannot reach you. Michael stands at the threshold, his wings spread wide, his sword returned to the scabbard, not because the threat vanished, but will bay. Do not turn away, do not doubt, do not forget this sensation of alignment, protection, and divine timing. You are marked for destiny. You are set apart. You are under the watch of heaven, and your path is cleared. Comment amen if you feel it. Share this message with 3 others who need this correction. Like it as a declaration of agreement. Subscribe and turn on notifications to remain in step with what heaven is speaking. My child, know this. What begins in obedience today cannot be undone tomorrow. A divine shift has started. A heavenly alignment has been sealed. Walk forward, for Michael watches, and heaven smiles upon the faithful. It is done. Beloved, breathe. Feel how the air rests differently around you now. Not heavy, not sharp, but steady. This is the sound of heaven closing a door behind you. Michael has spoken, and now he stands silent, not in absence, but in watchfulness. The kind that means it is finished. My child, the mistake no longer follows you. The weight no longer clings. The accusation no longer has permission to speak. If you feel a deep calm settling low in your body, if your thoughts feel slower, cleaner, that is peace taking its rightful place. You did not arrive here by chance. You arrived because you listened when it mattered, because you stayed when it would have been easier to leave. Chosen One, heaven honors obedience quietly but permanently. What was removed will not return. What was protected will now grow. What was threatened has been turned away. There is nothing more to fear from this chapter. You are sealed. You are guarded. You are aligned. Now walk, not in urgency but in confidence, not looking back but staying aware. Let this moment mark you. If your spirit agrees, type Amen as a seal. If you feel peace, write I receive as agreement. If you know someone standing at a dangerous crossroads, share this message. Do not delay. Stay connected. Remain attentive. Heaven still speaks, and you have proven you can hear. Go now, beloved. The path ahead is watched. And the silence you feel, that is heaven saying you are safe. Continue. My child, stop. Do not scroll. Do not look away. Heaven interrupts you now because something unseen has shifted. God says your shield is lifted, and if this moment is ignored, what was meant to be stopped, night will not be restrained. Beloved, this is not fear speaking. This is mercy arriving early. The reason your heart felt a sudden pause. The reason your breath changed just now. The reason a quiet tension moved through your chest. It is because your presence here was detected in the divine realm. Chosen One, listen carefully. There are hours when protection stands silently, and there are hours when heaven calls you awake. This is one of those hours. Do you feel that warmth spreading through your shoulders? That subtle pressure behind your eyes? That stillness pressing in even as urgency rises? That is alignment. God says, I did not remove the shield to harm you. I lifted it so you would see. Tonight is not ordinary. Something has been circling, not to touch you but to test your awareness. What cannot breach you seeks permission through distraction. That is why this message found you before night fully settles. Do not turn away now. Every second you stay, heaven moves closer. Beloved, angels do not shout. They adjust the atmosphere. And right now, the air around you is changing. If your hands feel light, if a gentle vibration is moving through your chest, If peace and alertness are colliding inside you, that is confirmation. Say quietly, or type it if you can, "I am aware." This is not a comment, it is a declaration. Chosen one, you are not being accused, you are being invited. Invited to stand where protection becomes active again. Invited to agree with heaven before resistance is required. This message is a gate. Agreement opens it. If your spirit senses that this is meant for you, let your agreement be visible. Tap the like as an act of alignment. And if you desire to remain within these warnings and coverings, stay connected. Do not drift from the signals heaven sends. Beloved, what I am about to reveal next is not for everyone, but it is for you, because the reason the shield was lifted is closer than you think. And what must be stopped tonight has already begun to move. Stay with me. Do not break focus now. Beloved, breathe slowly. Do you feel that gentle heaviness settling in your chest? Not fear weight. The weight of attention returning to where it belongs. Chosen one, heaven is quiet right now because listening is required. There are moments when danger announces itself loudly. This is not one of them. Tonight's threat does not rush. It waits for comfort. It waits for the moment you assume all is well. God says, the shield was lifted because you began to move on instinct instead of instruction. Do not be troubled by that. Awareness is restoration. If your neck feels warm, if a subtle chill moved down your spine, if your mind suddenly cleared as if a fog stepped back, that is not coincidence. That is recalibration. Beloved, there is a pattern forming around you, and heaven is interrupting it before it locks in place. Lost what seeks access cannot force entry. It must be ignored into permission. That is why distraction has been heavy lately. That is why sleep has felt shallow or dreams unusually vivid. That is why small choices felt strangely significant. You were warned not to skip because timing matters more than intensity. Chosen one, Archangel Michael stands not to frighten you, but to reposition you. Protection is not always a wall. Sometimes it is a turn. God says, if you stay where you are, the shield remains lifted. If you step where I am guiding, it descends again. Do you sense that gentle pull? Almost like being asked to lean inward rather than outward? That is direction without words. Say softly out loud or within, guide me. Feel how the air responds. If peace is washing through you now, do not question it. Peace is not the absence of threat. It is the presence of authority. Beloved, this message is stabilizing something fragile before night deepens. That is why urgency and calm are sharing the same space. Remain here. Do not multitask. Do not let your focus split. If this resonates, let agreement flow right. I receive protection, not for visibility, for sealing. Chosen one, what I must speak next concerns the specific doorway the danger is attempting to approach through. It is subtle, it is familiar, and once revealed, it cannot hide again. Stay with me. This next moment matters more than you realize. My child, slow your breathing. What you are sensing right now is not imagination, it is narrowing. Heaven is reducing the noise so you can see the doorway. Do you feel that gentle pressure around your temples? That focused stillness like the world stepped back one pace? That is discernment activating. Beloved, the danger approaching tonight does not come as chaos. It comes as normal. God says, what seeks entry wears familiarity. It is not new, it is not dramatic. It is something you have touched before without consequence. Until now, Chosen One, this doorway opens through routine, through habit, through the moments you no longer pray over because they feel safe. Do not be alarmed. Be present. If your stomach tightens, If a quiet recognition just passed through you like a whisper, that is the Spirit saying yes. That. You were not meant to fear this. You were meant to notice it before night claims it. Archangel presence is near, not hovering, but standing firm. Not reacting, but guarding the boundary that is about to be restored. God says, once you see the doorway, I can seal it, but seeing requires honesty. Beloved, tonight's danger relies on delay, on later, on I'll handle it tomorrow. That is why this message came now. Do not turn away now. Every second you stay, heaven moves closer. If your hands feel warm, if there is a subtle pulsing in your chest, if calm is deepening even as seriousness rises, that is the shield beginning to lower again. Whisper or type, I choose awareness. This is alignment, not effort. Chosen One, in the next moments I will speak of the exact action, small, quiet, but decisive, that causes the shield to fully descend before night completes its cycle. Once spoken, it must be done without hesitation. Stay with me. What happens next decides how this night unfolds. Beloved, remain still for just a moment. Do you feel that calm deepening, like the room itself is listening? That is because the instruction is arriving. Chosen One, heaven does not require grand gestures tonight. It requires obedience in something small. God says, the shield descends when alignment replaces assumption. The action that seals you is not dramatic. It is quiet. It is something you have postponed because it seemed insignificant. If your breath just slowed on its own, if a gentle heaviness settled over your shoulders like a covering, if your heart feels steady, almost anchored, that is confirmation. Beloved, the danger loses power the moment you step out of autopilot. Tonight, awareness is the weapon. Intention is the lock. There is one simple adjustment, a pause before a familiar moment, a refusal to move forward the way you always do, a choice to acknowledge God before proceeding. That single pause collapses the access point. Archangel presence is tightening the perimeter now, not with force but with order. God says, do not rush what I am slowing. If you feel prompted to stop scrolling, to delay a routine action, to sit quietly instead of continuing as planned, that is not interruption. That is protection descending. Chosen One, agreement completes the covering. Say it softly, I pause with you. Feel how peace settles lower, deeper, fuller. Do not explain this to anyone yet. Some instructions lose power when spoken too soon. Stay with me. In the next part, I will reveal how to seal the shield completely before sleep, so nothing crosses your night. Do not leave now. This is the moment the covering finishes forming. My child, the air around you is softer now. That softness is not weakness, it is readiness. Do you notice the quiet spreading inward? The way your thoughts have slowed, as if something unseen placed a hand over the noise? That is the shield responding. Beloved, heaven seals protection differently at night. Daylight guards the path. Night guards the inner gates. God says before sleep, the heart must be aligned, not distracted. This is why rest has felt delayed, why your spirit refused to fully relax, why something in you stayed alert even when you were tired. If your eyelids feel heavy, but your mind feels clear, if a gentle warmth is pooling in your chest or stomach, if a quiet safety is beginning to replace alertness, that is the boundary being restored. Chosen One, the seal forms when intention meets surrender. Before sleep, there must be one conscious act, not effort, not struggle, release. Release of control, release of replay, release of unfinished thoughts you plan to carry into the night. Tonight you do not take them with you. God says, lay them down before you lie down. Do not rush this, do not multitask through it. When you prepare for rest, pause, even for a few breaths, and acknowledge heaven's presence out loud or within. If you feel prompted to say, "I trust you with this night," follow that prompting. Feel how the room steadies. Beloved, the shield is nearly fully descended now. But there is one final awareness, one last adjustment, that determines whether it seals completely or remains partially open. What I must speak next concerns the moment just before sleep, the thought that tries to follow you into rest, the place where access is either denied or granted. Stay with me. Do not drift yet. The final sealing is closer than you think, beloved. Rest your awareness here. This is the threshold. Do you feel that deep stillness now, almost like being held? That gentle pressure around your heart, not heavy, not urgent, secure? That is the shield finishing its descent. Chosen One, the final access point, is not an action. It is a thought. God says, what you carry into sleep determines what may follow you. The danger you were warned of cannot enter through chaos anymore. It can only approach through unreleased weight. The thought that tries to come with you, the unfinished conversation, the worry masked as planning, the quiet replay you tell yourself you'll handle tomorrow, that is what must stop here. If your breath just deepened on its own, if warmth spread through your chest or hands, if a calm certainty settled over you like nightfall, that is the seal responding. Beloved, release is not forgetting. It is placing. Place it into God's keeping now. Say it softly. With authority and peace, I release this night to you. Feel how the atmosphere settles. Feel how your body responds. That response is not emotion, it is protection confirmed. Archangel presence withdraws only when the boundary is complete, and now it is. God says, no harm will follow you into rest. No disturbance will cross this covering. You are kept. Chosen One, this message did not arrive to alarm you. It arrived to finish something, and it has. If you sense peace now, let agreement be visible. Type, it is done. Not for others, for sealing. If this message guarded you tonight, remain aligned, stay connected, so future warnings and coverings reach you on time. And if you know even one soul who needs protection or peace before rest, share this message with them now. Covering multiplies when awareness is shared. Beloved, go into this night without fear. The shield is down, heaven is near, and rest is safe. Stay in peace.